This is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I want to talk a little more about the triangle. Using the triangle as how you do your combat. We talked about the triangle in the way of the area that you're in, and that's like a grassy area, gravel, loose, or if it's concrete, something solid, how it's got to be different than what your attacker is walking off of. We've already talked about that. Okay, now that's one triangle. Another triangle is the steps, the way you move your feet, the way your footwork. Now remember, you're going to be stronger in all your strikes if you're flat-footed. You're more secure to the ground when whatever you do, you're going to have more power when your feet are flat. When you start, teeter-tottering, your heel or your toes and stuff, your strike is going to be weaker. So it doesn't make any difference if you're using your hawk, you're using your hands, knife, it doesn't make any difference. So you'll notice you want to stay flat-footed. Remember, this is self-defense. The threat is coming into your area, and your area will be a triangle-like shaped area. And the reason is they've got you in one area, your partner will be in the next area. Anybody you're with, you don't get back to back like the movies do and all this kind of crap. You've got to secure that area. The way you get that area, you use you're going to be flat-footed, and you're going to be using a triangular type shape steps when you do this. I don't know if the sound is going to come through or not, but we're going to give it a try. Okay. There's a triangle right here. That's one triangle. Triangles is strength. So right there, you can bend your knees a little bit because you're coming up. So, but I say that's one triangle right here. You're in your triangle. You have your triangle stance. Now when you move, you're moving up. You might move to strike. Okay? And then you come back. Like that. Come back. You do the same thing on the other side. You see? This is a triangle right here. Triangle. Right there. See, I'm staying in this same triangular stance. Okay? Now, you can change by going up like that, and then you turn. When your threats come around to the side, now you've changed right there. You're still at the triangle right here with the legs, but now your frontal is this way. And when you come back, your frontal is this way. You can strike through your frontal, or you can still strike and you can turn. And now this is your frontal here. Same thing. You strike, you can turn. This is the front right here. That's the front. And then now, because you still have your strikes, especially if you're using the hawk, you got your sideways strikes. See, so you may not want to have the frontal. The frontal is one thing, but you may want to strike, hit, and come back. You're still using that same triangle right here. Okay, they're behind you. You just changed. Changed it back to this. So now your triangle has just changed right here. So you're doing the same thing. And now we just changed the triangle again. The less footwork you do, the less energy you're going to be expanding. And like I say, this isn't like a a fight or a boxing match, you know, where you're over there hopping and you're dodging back and forth, stuff like that. No, we're not doing that kind of stuff. You're using too much energy. Now that's one thing if you're going to fight one person. Now what I'm talking about is when you're fighting a massive amount. And like I say, you can only control so much, and you have to let them come to your area. And so by staying in one place and keeping that triangle, either moving up or moving back, and then you can move to the one side, just one step completely changes the way you attack, and then you turn your body. That's it. You don't use much energy, and that's because we need to save the energy. And so that's why you use the triangle type, not only in steps, the way you stand, and the area that you're controlling. That triangle formation is what everything is based on. You have more strength like that. So keep that in mind when you go up against multiple attackers. You know, so, and the same thing, I use the same type of system, whether it's just using bare hands, you know, like if there's six, 8 people want to beat up on me, I will try to get into an area that's different. Remember I talked about, let's say I'm in a parking lot, I will go to it's asphalt or concrete, a good flat surface. I will step off into the grass or the gravel, something a little looser. And when I step off there, that gives me a little time for my body to get used to this loose terrain. And now in my mind, I already fixed the area that I'm going to be staying at right there. And then when they come off of that hard surface, well, for an instant, they're going to have unstable ground. And if I'm using my hands, it's that instability that they're going to be experiencing is when they're vulnerable. And then that's when I'm going to do my thing. But they have to come to me. They'll step off. Right when they step on that, it's uncomfortable and it's a little different. So their body has to make adjustments. Bam! I got them. When their body is making adjustments, I already got them. Okay, and that's with my hands. I'll do the same thing if I'm armed. You know, I say with a tomahawk, knife, or whatever. The time you get them is right when they step off, maybe 1 or 2 steps while they're in this loose surface. Their body is they're not ready. And like I say, at the same time, while they're stepping, what I talk about, they're on their toes. And so if they do take a punch, it's going to be a weak punch. It's going to be slow, it's going to be weak, and because of the unstable ground, it won't be accurate. So that's another reason why you have to do it right at that time. And that's why I say you're going to be accurate on what it is that you've got to do, and you got to be fast. This isn't like you see on TV where I hit you and you hit me, this kind of crap. We don't do that kind of shit because you still got 5 more behind him that you got to deal with. So that's why you get the ground in your advantage, and you get in your stance that's going to be most powerful and the quickest that you're going to be able to work out of, and you will have the advantage. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.